Assalamualaikum and salam one Malaysia to everyone. First of all, let me introduce myself to you before I start with my speech on the topic, the criteria of an ideal teacher. I am BIU3013 and working as a teacher at SK SPAU, Betong, Sarawak. Registered as UPSI student with my student ID D045119, I was asked to give a speech about the criteria of an ideal teacher. Speaking on the topic of criteria of an ideal teacher, it is good if I start to explain what is the meaning of ideal teacher first. According to this, the Oxford Fajar Advanced Learners English Malay Dictionary 2nd edition, on the page 909, the word ideals mean the most suitable, a person or thing regarded as perfect and a standard of perfection. Based on this topic, after referring to the dictionary, I concluded the purpose of the ideal teacher is a teacher who has the characteristic of the most perfect and able to be a role model to student and community. I read some articles on the net and found a very nice quote to share. In the word of Confucius, the ideal teacher guides his students but does not pull them along. He urges them to go forward and does not suppress them. He opens the way but does not take them to the place. There are thousands of teachers who can we find in Malaysia, but the ideal teacher is very difficult to find. An ideal teacher is one in a million. Keep in mind, the greatness of the ideal teacher can produce many great students. In fact, ideal teachers are the backbone of any progressive scheme of national education, including our country, Malaysia. Teaching is a career that provides challenges, excitement, personal rewards, and a chance to encourage and support others to achieve their goals. There are many personal qualities and skills that make someone a good teacher, such as being good at explaining things, enthusiasm, having a strong knowledge in particular subject area, being a good time manager, able to work in a team, able to keep cool, having patience and a good sense of humor, being fair-minded, coping well with change, and enjoying a challenge. But now, I will not discussing about those points. I want to share my own opinions about the criteria of an ideal teacher after my experiences and reading. Ladies and gentlemen, the ideal teachers, who are the awesome teachers, love what they do. They love to teach with all their heart. This is the fact. The ideal teacher do teaching not only for the money, prestige, or glory, but they teach because It brings them an incredible feeling of satisfaction, knowing that they are contributing positively to the futures of others and the country. If a teacher doesn't have this inner satisfaction and does not enjoy what they do, they will never be able to make lasting impressions in their students' mind. Passion has great impact, and this is something that all really good teachers have. One of the important criteria of an ideal teacher that I believe all teachers must have is being loving and caring towards the children. I do agree with this. With all my experiences and readings, I really agree that all the teachers must be loving and caring. Children need the crucial love and care from their teachers, especially those who do not get this at home. It's such an easy thing to do to show that we care and love them. For example, simply asking them if they are fine, or simply treat them a meal once in a week is one of sufficient to portray our love and care towards them. This would definitely make them appreciate us more. Secondly, to be an ideal teacher, we have to be a good communicator, besides being a loving and caring teacher. A teacher has the responsibility of bridging the gap between themselves and their students. So, a good communication skill is a must. It is difficult sometimes to relate to people, especially children, so that learning can happen in their minds. But excellent teachers are masters of this. Relating to students on the students' level, these teachers have developed many ways to reach their students and communicate using terrific speaking skills, visual aids, and even in their body language. Besides being a good communicator, an ideal teacher should be a good motivator too. A teacher is the one who can be a good motivator to the pupils. With the awareness that pupils come from different backgrounds, have different personalities, and so on, an ideal teacher should know how to give a suitable motivation to each pupil. A teacher needs to know that different pupils require different kinds of motivation, as they would definitely face different kinds of problems. So, being a good motivator is essential to be an ideal teacher. Do you agree with me? To be a great teacher, we must be admirable. This kind of teachers lead life of high moral ground, and they set an example to their students because of it. We, as the people, are much more likely to listen to those we admire because we wish to be like them. For example, like me, I most likely to listen to my idol, Tun M, because I wish to be like him. Models of who we would like to someday be really good teachers help show us the way. Based on this, an ideal teacher should know how to act, dress, speak, walk, or even talk correctly in front of pupils. For all these aspects are actually being observed by them. That is why we have to show them the best of the best personality of us. Sometimes we have to be hypocrite in some cases just because we want them to follow the good example only. What I mean is, for example, if we do not like to drink milk, but we have to show to them that we love milk for health. We have to do it even though we really dislike it. Ladies and gentlemen, last but not least, positive reinforcement is important to be an ideal teacher. Instead of using strict punishment to discipline students, an ideal teacher knows how to use positive reinforcement to discipline his students. He understands that by using strict punishment, the students will protest. By using positive reinforcement, he can create a better relationship between he as the teacher and the students. For example, giving rewards to the student for doing a good job so they are more apt to doing it in the future. Or giving the student for doing wrong a good motivation and advices is much more better than using strict punishment. Do you agree? In conclusion, there are many ways to be an ideal teacher. There are also many views on how an ideal teacher should be. However, the points above are example of my own perspective of an ideal teacher. Above all, we must bear in mind that we work with humans, not machines. Thus, being the best for them is indeed vital and essential. Thank you.